Alright, I'm kind of bored this morning, so I decided, since I was successful last year in breeding irises, I would make a quick video on how to successfully breed irises. And then, like, a month or two later, or whenever it forms a seed pod, then it'll be successful. And if it doesn't, it won't be successful. But hopefully, I remember how to still do it. So, make sure you have good tweezers. And right on the inside of this plant, you see that right there. Let's be very careful about this. Okay. You see under the leaf part is that stem. You're going to carefully pluck that off and then rub it on this part of the leaf, or the petal. So I'm going to carefully do this and then come back. Okay, the camera sort of malfunctioned a bit, but I successfully did that one and the other one, and so I'll show you guys again since it didn't record it. I got one off the third site. You can do it 3 times per plant to increase the successfulness of the breed, or to breed 3 different plants from the same one. But here is another one. That's what it looks like. You want the side that curves, okay, like see how it curves up like a boat? That's the side that you want, not the back side, the front side. This is the one with all the goods on it, if you will. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, now we're on the third side. Oh goodness, this is difficult, but take it with the under part of the petal here. There's a flap under each petal, and you just want to rub it until you see the white fall off and go under the flap. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a flap there. Make sure it's on the inside of this flap with the curved part out. You'll know what it looks like. It'll look smooth on one side and it'll look polleny on the other. Just keep rubbing it, but don't be too aggressive or you'll destroy the leaf part, and you want it to survive long enough to work. So just gently do it till enough of the pollen has fertilized the plant, if you will, and then that's it. Now, when this shrivels up and dries in a day or a week or so, this part right here, not this part, I was pointing at the wrong part, but this part right below it, this part is where the seeds will form. It's tiny now, but it'll get the size of a walnut or bigger if you are successful. Now, I successfully did it the first year last year, and it got like 4 or 5 inches big. Don't pluck it. Don't pluck it until it splits open on one of these sides here, and the seeds are the size of about peppercorns if it's successful. So now we're going to go do the champagne. And look at this gorgeous specimen. This came from my grandma's almost, oh my goodness, when I was a kid. It died off for a few years. I had like hundreds, and now I've only got these beauties right here. I got about 8 of them that are going to happen, which means I have about 24 different chances, because you get 3 per plant, to breed them. So we're going to do the same thing, and I will get the stem and meet you back in a sec. Ta-da! It was successful. Okay, remember, the curved side has to be up, so all them pollen bits, oh goodness, the sun is bright, but this one's way easier to do on this one because it's a bearded one too, but it's a big one, and it's easier to see the flap. Do you see that flap? Okay, right where I got this stem is exactly where you want to rub it, but do you see the flap right there under the inner petal? Right there? That is what you want to rub this on. See all those little tiny bits? You want that on the inside of this lip. So just keep doing this until they all go in there, or enough to breed the plant. It is very difficult to do with one hand, so I'm going to pause it, do it, and... Alright. Now, I'm going to try and zoom in without it blurring too much. Focus. Okay. I don't know if you can see it, but all those little particles have successfully breeded the plant now. Now, once again, this is a bigger champagne iris, because it's a hybrid, because I've bred it before. The seed pod's going to form down here, and this will swell to be way bigger, because it's a bigger one. And then you harvest the seeds a month or two later when the pods split open, and there's little brownish seeds in them. You can let them dry out, or you can plant them directly in the soil when it gets to fall, because they need the cold to germinate. I wasn't successful in growing any this year because I did it in a pot, and I mean, it's my first year, obviously, but if I'm successful again, I will show you guys the results, and then we'll plant them and see if we can grow them, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, going to be a work in progress, but that's how I learned to breed iris last year, and I wanted to share that with you guys, because we're in the middle of a quarantine and crap, so, and I don't want to go rioting, so breed some irises. It's kind of... One last quick tip. If you have some blue painter's tape, or whatever it's called, you know, the stuff that you line for painting that comes off easily, wrap this around the stem of the plants that you breed, especially irises, so you'll know what two you've bred together and what the resulting seeds that you breed successfully will be. So in my case, I would write champagne, so it's just champagne. Purple ones are just purple, and later when the others bloom, I'm going to mix a champagne with a lemon if the lemons in town grow, because there's really only one patch of them, and they aren't even stemming because I think someone bought the property, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to know that, but I will breed a champagne with a purple, and a lemon with the purple, and a lemon with the champagne again, so I can get more seeds. And I guess I can show you. Those are what the seeds will look like when they're dry. They're pretty big, but not terribly big. They're rounder when they grow and lighter in color, and when they dry they get like this. So that's what you're aiming for. That's from 2 successful breeds last year for my first time ever. So that's what irises really grow from, not the ribosomes, or rhizomes, or whatever the root's called. That just is easier to grow them from. These are what it really comes from, the seeds. Don't know if you guys knew that.